Welcome to this video. If you're watching this video, it means that you've actually paid for this video. Now, this video is a video format of a book that I personally wrote myself for those persons that are preparing for this year's 2025 Jamb, and this will be focusing on the English language questions and also the the literature test for this year's 2025 English language novel, which is titled Lekki, Headmaster. So let's just head on to it briefly. So what are you going to be learning in this video? You'll be learning a simplified English language and the Lekki Headmaster Jamb 2025 100% expected questions and answers. That's what you will be learning. And then now this is a substitute that features the Lekki Headmaster's novel summary, themes, characters, grammars, idioms, or an objective questions analysis and their answers. Now this is compiled. It is prepared by myself, Monday O Idemudia. And what is the purpose of this video, or perhaps what is the purpose of this book is an exam preparation for Jamb English Language Candidate 2025. So without wasting much of our time, let's quickly go into what we will be having from that area. So let's go there briefly. So let's just go there briefly. So I want you to follow me keenly. I want you to follow me very well, even as we go in this video. Now the title again is here: Simplified English Language and the Lekki Headmaster Jamb 2025 100% expected questions and answers handout. So this is what we will be looking at in the course of this lecture. So let's go to the first page. So we are having introduction, Jamb English Language Exam. The English language section of the Jamb UTME is compulsory for all candidates and consists of 60 objective questions. It tests comprehension, grammar, lexics, and structure and oral forms. For 2025, the Lekki Headmaster by Kabir Alabi Gaba is recommended novel, contributing 10 to 15 questions. Now, this handout provides a complete guide to mastering the exam through targeted preparation, key sections, comprehension, 2 passages, 10 questions, lexics and structure, 5 to 20 questions, novel-based questions, 10 to 15 questions, then oral forms, which is also 10 questions. So that is basically the introduction of this particular mastery handout, or perhaps video that I have prepared for all. So basically we'll be looking at the path of the English language in general, which has to do with the lexics and structure, and then we'll be looking at the novel-based questions that has to do with the Lekki Headmaster by Kabir Alabi Gaba. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so overview of the Lekki Headmaster novel. This is a summary of the Headmaster novel, Lekki Headmaster novel, written by Kabir Gaba. Follows Mr. Beko Adewale, which is known as Beko, a dedicated principal at Stardom Schools in Lekki, Lagos. The novel explores his efforts to improve education amidst challenges like corruption, financial mismanagement, and societal pressures such as the Japa migration trend. And Beko's journey reflects his struggles with leadership and family expectations and ethical dilemmas, culminating in his expectations and ethical dilemmas, in his resilience and reform. Key events: Beko's emotional breakdown at an assembly reveals personal struggles, conflicts with staff and parents, test his leadership, Financial irregularities and the student rise escalate tension. People's weighs migration against commitment to education. Team, page 5. Educational reform. We are having people's innovative methods highlight the need for quality education, leadership, sacrifices. Dedication comes at personal cost, reflecting true leadership. Corruption, financial mismanagement, and unethical practices challenge institutional integrity. Then we also have migration, which has to do with the Japa syndrome, the allure of opportunity abroad contrasts with local commitment. Resilience, Beko's persistence inspires hope amidst adversity. Key characters could be found on page 6, which is Mr. Adebeko Adewale, which is known as Beko, and then he is the protagonist, a compassionate yet strict headmaster. Mrs. Ibido Gloss, the managing director, concerned with the school's reputation. Pastor Wande, a supportive physics teacher, suggesting personal issues affecting Beko. Banki and Tosh, rival students whose field escalates into a legal battle. So that's just the overview of this. Then let's go to the exam preparation tips and focus areas. Now, if you are writing this exam, this English exam this year, these are tips and area of focus you should put your mind into, even as we go about in this video. Now, in this course of this lecture, read the Lekki Headmaster thoroughly, focus on plot, themes, and characters, practice past questions, patterns repeat in Jamb, time management, aim for 1 minute per questions, focus areas, novel 15%, grammar 30%, comprehension 25%, oral forms 20%, then pages 30, and then we have page 32. Now, conclusion and additional resources. This handout equips you for success in the 2025 Jamb English exam. Study consistently and use Jamb's meeting practice apps, a practical English usage by Michael Swan online Jamb forums is also available for you to do what to use. So briefly, let's go to the structure and the style of the novel. We're going to the structure and the style of the novel right now. So let's go. We are having linear narrative with flashbacks to Beko's past, enhancing depth. Chapters focuses on key events, e.g. assembly scene, style, page 17. Simple and direct prose with dialogue reflecting Nigerian English, emotional tone and vivid descriptions, e.g. Beko's breakdown. Engaged readers. Now we have pages 18 to 20, grammar in the Lekki Headmaster tenses. Okay, page 18, present. Then we have present, that is Beko's teaches daily, and past, he addressed the assembly. Then we have dominate, reflecting ongoing and past struggles. We have concord, page 19, examples like the staff is corrupt. We have singular versus then we have the students are unruly, plural, which shows agreement rules. Punctuations and idioms, page 20, commas in dialogue, Beko said listen, and idioms like burn the midnight oil, which means enrich, which actually enrich the text, or which means to enrich the text, which can be found in pages 21 to 29 of the book. So let's proceed to the next thing. Now let's go to page by page plus summary of the Lekki Headmaster. So the first one we'll be looking at is the chapter 1. We'll be looking at a troubled assembly. We're looking at a troubled assembly. The novel opens at Stardom schools, morning assemblies where Beko usually vibrant, appears distressed, and he walks ponderously to the podium, unable to deliver his pep talk and breaks down in the tears. Students and staff, expecting his usual charisma, are shocked. Okay, Vice Principal Mrs. Grace Ape steps in, escorting him to his office, the scene hints at underlining personal or professional tumor. Then we have chapter 2, which has to do with Beko's background. Flashback reviews Beko's journey as a committed educator from this way group of stardom schools known as the Lekki Headmaster for his conflict resolution skills, is admired but faces systematic issues. His strict yet fair leadership style ends in nicknames like principal, tension with staff, and perhaps parent suffering. Then we have chapter 3. We have school challenges. What are the school challenges that we actually face? The first thing is people grapples with inadequate resources and unmotivated teachers. He introduces innovative teaching methods like student pep talks to inspire change, the student rivalry between banking and touch escalates, throwing people into conflict, parental pressures and workplace politics. First is what is resolved. So this and more of this actually is part of this. So let's just proceed. Let's proceed to where we are, so that we can continue from that place. Okay. All right. So let's take it quickly. Okay. So we are having let's take the next one, which is we have this part, which chapter 4, family pressures. Beko's wife, Seri, and children now in the UK, okay, urge him to relocate. The Jackpot trend migration for better opportunities looms large. Beko resists valuing his role as stardom, but marital strain grows. Colleagues debate migration's financial allure, highlighting societal expectations. Then we have chapter 5, having to tell us about his emotional turmoil. Now, Beko's distress deepens with incoherent mutterings like Oluwagbami, which means God save me. Staff, including Mrs. Laws, try to uncover his pain, suspecting marital issues. A pastor teacher, Mr. Wande, counsels him, but Beko remains withdrawn, reflecting inward conflict. Then we have chapter 6, which has to do with student conflict. The Banki Tosh rivalry turns legal, involving powerful families. Now, Beko meditates, emphasizing discipline, but faces accusations of bias. His emphatic leadership shines, yet the scandal threatens stardom's reputations. He reflects on education's transformative power amidst chaos. Now, in chapter 7, we looked at the staff dynamics. Now, what makes the staffs to be dynamics? People navigate staff disputes and suspicions of corruptions, like unexplained wealth among teachers. His stardom cooperative society raises financial concerns. His reforms face resistance, but allies like Mrs. Law support him. People's humor softens tensions. I think basically this just actually revolved around Beko's. Now let's go to the chapter 8. We have cultural pride in chapter 8. Now Beko's encourages cultural activities like drama club, dances, showcasing Nigerian heritage. Students admire his passion, but he worries about the school's image and legal tussle. His past, including NYSC teaching, shapes his innovative methods. Page 9 talks about mounting pressures. Family and societal expectations intensify, pushing Beko towards migration. He recalls 2 decades as stardom, weighing his legacy against a better life abroad. Staff find his reluctance puzzling, joking about UK salaries. Beko feels torn. Then we go to chapter 10, which has to do with a breaking point. Now, Beko's mental health falters. He's sent home with counselor Mrs. Becky Egbin, The managing director aims to shield the school from alarm. Beko's emotional breakdown reveals the toil of his sacrifices, questioning his purpose and what and future. Now in chapter 11, we can see that there were certain decisions that looms. Beko contemplates resigning to join his family. Farewells begin as he reflects on his impact, improving academics, discipline students, and community ties. The school organizes a send-off, bittersweet with gratitude, migrations, mixed blessings, way what heavily also. Now let's go to 12, which is his departure. Actually, at the time he was trying to depart to the UK. Let's look at it. Beko prepares to leave for the UK via Emirates, arriving early at the airport to avoid past mistakes. Dreams at the terminal stir memories of his struggle and Nigerian's challenge. He departs and then leaving a legacy of resilience and what and hope. Don't forget this. These are questions that they normally ask in this particular test. Like what was the legacy that Beko actually left? The legacy is resilience and what and hope. So sometimes they will put the option resilience, sometimes they put the option hope. They don't put resilience, they put hope. They don't put hope, they put resilience. So let's go to chapter 13. Legacy reflect. Then we have post departure. Stardom staff and students honor Beko's contributions. His reforms endure, inspiring teachers. The novel critiques Japa, showing its personal cost. Beko's story underscores education's role in nation building. Then chapter 14, community impact. The narrative shifts to Stardom's growth, driven by Beko's vision. Parent and local embrace his collaborative spirit, themes of teamwork and sacrifice resonate, urging readers to value educators' dedication despite systemic flaws. And the chapter 15, which is the last one, is the closing message. The novel ends with a call to action. Education transforms societies, but requires collective effort. Beko's journey, flawed, human, inspiring, mirrors Nigerians' potential. His sacrifices highlight leadership's cost, leaving readers hopeful, yet reflected. So this is basically the page by page, summary of what the story the Lekki Headmaster is actually talking about. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, we are having literary devices used in the Lekki Headmaster. Now, in this part, as a science student or perhaps as a social science student, you have to be very attentive in this part because most of the time the art students actually have more advantage in this particular part when we looked at the literary terms that are used or literary devices, because most of the times they are often conversant with some of all these things like metaphor, foreshadowing, flashback, and irony. All these things, they are really conversant about that. So what is metaphor? Now metaphor compares something. It compares two ideas, compare them with the use without the use of as or like. Now let's look at an example. People says a school without discipline is like a ship without a compass. Explanation: compares a school lacking discipline to a directionless ship, emphasizing the need for structure in education. And then we have what's the highlight? The highlight is Beko's leadership philosophy. Now let's go to foreshadowing. Now what is foreshadowing? Now in literature, now for that, foreshadowing means what? It is a signal to the future. It is a kind of vision to the future. That is what foreshadowing means. Foreshadowing means seeing what is going to happen in the future. Let's look at an example. People's unusual behavior at the assembly hints at his later breakdown. Early distress signals future emotional turmoil, building suspense about his personal and his professional struggles. Now let's go to flashback. What is flashback? Now flashback has to do with what? With a recall When you are recalling what happened in the past, it is called flashback. When you recall something that happens in the past, it is called flashback, bringing it to the present. So recollections of people's early career at Bisway and NYSC, you know, the explanation is that it provides context for his dedication, showing how past experiences shape his current leadership and resistance towards the migration. Then irony. What is irony? Now, an irony has to do with a contrast between what an author says and what the author actually means. You understand? When an author says a thing but actually means the opposite. Irony. At some point, irony can actually be ridicule at some times, tending to actually hurt the feelings of someone. It can be satirical at the time. Let's look at an explanation of this. We said that it highlights the contrast between Beko's public success and private pain, underscoring human vulnerability. Now, Beko's nickname, the Lekki Headmaster, for resolving conflict, struggles with his own unresolved family tensions. You can imagine. So this is just the person that he is. It is just a kind of an opposite of what is a caricature of what is actually passing through. Looking at his personality as the headmaster, yet is going through some of these things. So let's go to the next one, which is symbolism. Now, what is symbolism? Symbolism are words that has a meaning. When we use words to convey meaning and to convey sound, they are called what? Symbols. They are called symbolism. When words symbolize something. So one of the words is japa. Now, japa, what is japa? What's the meaning of japa? Japa is a phenomenon and a people's reluctant departure, embodying loss and opportunity. Now, let's look at the example. The airport represents Beko's transition from Nigeria to the UK. So that's just the meaning of Japa is just a symbol of a transition whereby people had to migrate from one particular place to another, because of the fact that they needed better opportunities. Let's go to personification. What is personification? Personification means giving non-living thing human qualities, giving human qualities to things that are not living. Gives the school human qualities, reflecting its transformation and Beko's impact on the community. Let's look at the example. The school is described as breathing with hope under Beko's reform. When you say a school is breathing, it is only humans that can actually breathe, because an inanimate object can't breathe. So it is called what? It is personificated. So it means that school is personificated, and that statement is called personification. Now let's go to allusion. What is an allusion? An allusion has to connect with leadership to a cultural touchstone, evoking nostalgic and authority. Now, when you talk about an allusion has to do with a statement that is picked from a particular text. It could be a movie, it could be a reference. Now, allusion has to do with reference. For instance, Beko's nickname, the Lekki Headmaster, nods to the TV drama Village Headmaster. You see, it was taken from that particular place, the Village Headmaster. So that is where the reference of the Lekki Headmaster can be taken from this TV drama called the Village Headmaster. Then what is dialogue? Dialogue means conversation between two characters. We have reviewed societal attitudes towards migration, advancing the Japa theme through national conversation. Now, this is a conversation between two or more persons. It's a staff debate about UK salaries versus Nigerian salaries. Then the last one is imagery. Now, what is imagery? Imagery is a description, is a vivid description, is a vivid pictorial description that evoke emotional state of something or a physical state of something. How that thing looks like is called imagery, even without seeing that particular thing, but you are able to have a kind of imaginary stuff in your mind. Now, what's the example? The example is that Beko's ponderous work and missing what trademark smile at the what at the assembly. So let's go further, because we have also paradox. Paradox has to do with juxtaposition of two ideas. When two similar ideas are contradictory, but deep down looking into it, you see that it is actually true. Now, when a statement seems to be untrue from the outside, but when you look at it, you see that deeply it is actually true. For instance, an explanation: contrast is professional control with what we personal turmoil, depending the theme of what of sacrifice. Now let's look at the example. People's discipline school versus is chaotic life, personal life. You see, and it is the truth of it. It is absolutely the truth. Then we have word usage and meanings in the Lekki masters. Now these are the word usage that you can actually have. These are the word usage. We have ponderous. We have ponderous. Now what's the usage? Usage was that people's work today podium is what is ponderous. And we have meaning. It means to slow, to be heavy, to be it means laborious. It suggests emotional or what or physical burden. And what is the context? The context is it reflects people's distress, contradicting his usual energy. Now these are the things that you need to know. Charisma. What is the meaning of charisma? Compelling charm or appeal. That's what it means. So all these things you need to know them. Then we also have the japa. What does japa actually mean? Nigerian slang for what? For immigrating, often for better prospect or better opportunities in life. Now the next one, we have resilience. Now resilience can be seen in the life of people. It means ability to recover from difficulties. That's what it means. Now the usage is that people's resilience drives what? Reforms. It brings reforms. It brings transformations to the school. And then we also have legacy. What legacy are you dropping? What are the opportunity are you leaving behind that people can step on and say, yes, this person has left. It is time for us to step on. So we have usage. People's resilience drives reforms. Okay, legacy. People reflect on his legacy before leaving, meaning something handed down, like impact or conversation. And another thing is empathetic. Now what's the meaning? Showing understanding of others' feelings. Now people's empathetic was on a very high one. So context shows his humane approach, balancing discipline with here. Then we have cooperative usage. The Stardom Cooperative Society raises concern, meaning a group pulling resources for mutual benefit. Then contest hints at corruption, adding tension to school dynamics. So these are basically what we need to. So let's go to the next one. Sacrifice. What is not sacrifice? Giving up something value for a greater cause. So you have seen the word usage. Let's go to difficult terms and explanation. Oluwagbami is the first thing. That thing is pronounced Oluwagbami, meaning Yoruba phrase meaning God save me. God save me. And then we have principle. Principle was a nickname given to people. Now he said a playful mispronunciation of principal. Now that is what it means. Then we have Stardom Cooperative Society, meaning it's a fictional financial goal for school staff. That's what it is for. And we also have the Japa syndrome. We have the NYSC, National Youth Service Corps, and their meaning. We have the pep talk. We have the body face. So all these things you can go through them. Then we have list of key characters from the Lekki Headmaster, along with a concise analysis. Now the first character and the protagonist of the novel and the most predominant novel is no other person than Adebepo Adewale. So you in this particular section, you are going to be learning on the roles, on the characters of these persons. What was their role? The first one, we said the protagonist, principal of Stardom Schools, nicknamed the Lekki Headmaster and principal. Analysis: Beko is a dedicated, emphatic, and resilient. It has been given to us before. So these are the things that you will actually come across. Okay, we have Seri. We have also Seri. We have also Mrs. Grace Akwe, and then Mrs. Grace. We have Mrs. Okay, we have Mr. Wande. Mr. Wande, we have him also. Look at his role, what he played. We have Mrs. Becky Egbe. Look at his what he. And we also have lastly Mr. Banky. Mr. Banky. Mr. Banky. So we also have that. So let's proceed. Now we have Tosh, and we have Mr. Ibe, and we also have Mrs. Ignatius. Also we have Jide, Nike, and Kike, and then we have the managing director. Also we have Angel Ekanem, and also quick note. Now character focus, Beko dominates as the protagonist, with others serving to unite in what a challenges and leadership. Minor characters like students and staff fleshed out the school ecosystem, the Nigerian educational societal dynamics. Okay, so let's look at that. Migration and the Japa syndrome. Okay, so these are the themes that we have there: mental health and emotional vulnerability. Then we have community and collaboration. Also we have cultural identity and pride. We also have societal pressures and expectations, and also we have resilience and hope. So these are the things that we have in terms of the theme, so that you can see properly. Excuse me. So that you can see properly. Okay, so we have cultural identity and pride, societal pressures and expectations, resilience and hope. Then objective questions and answers. Now these are objective questions and answers that you may actually come across during this year's English language, with reference with the Lekki, with the novel The Lekki Headmaster. So you would emphasize on this particular one, because it is very, very important. Now we have more questions from this. We have more questions, a lot of questions coming out from this particular section. Also we have another question like this: 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then we also have 13, 14, and also 15 with their answers given to you there. Then we have section 2, which has to do with grammar, which has to do with the Lekki Headmaster grammar. So we have Beko. Okay, Beko dashed the school last year. Beko visited the school, past tense. So you have to be conversant with past tense also. Also we have fill in the correct words. We have some of all these things also. Fill in the correct word, punctuate these statements, expect that, then grammar, lexis, and structure. So choose whatever you want to choose. We also have idiomatical expressions. We have synonyms and antonyms also. We also have that, and then the next one that we have is correct. So that is it. So let's proceed. So these are other questions that you may be needing. So we have these are another question. This is another question that you will still also be needing with the answers. Then we also have these are other questions also that you will be needing. He dashed the book on the shelf. What's the answer? He laid the book on the shelves. Is a past tense of lay, to place, which is a compound sentence. A compound sentence. She danced, and sang. She danced. Okay, then we are having the next one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is the next one, and then let's go to the next one. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is the next one. Okay, so we have reflect. Okay, choose the correct word again. Okay, oral forms. Now there are oral forms, which is question from, let's say, 31 to perhaps 60 or thereabout. So we are having this. What are the sound? Okay, what are the sound? What are the sound? E. So that's the sound E because it's a short vowel. So okay, so let's go to so we've gone past this place. Oral. So we have oral. So these are the orals. Oral forms of that we have. Which word has the same E sound? So we now also have identified the stress pattern. It is very, very compulsory that you must have it. So so alright, so we have this. So let's move on. Evaluation quiz. Now this quiz is actually made for you in terms of both theory and objective, so that you can actually follow up with what has been done, and if the answer has been provided for you, and then you can do practices often and often again. Now this is evaluation quiz for objective. Now this is objective. There are some things that you may not come across. You may have not come across the words before, but you've seen it, but just that you've not been able to check it online. So these are the words. You can do that. You can just do the necessary by packaging it, and when the owners come, they come to pay it. So another thing is, so sorry about that. Another thing is, there are still some other questions that we are having in this place. So we have, so before we take the about, let's take references and conclusions. Look at the references. We have references from GABA, the Lekki Headmaster, Lagos publisher, updates with exact details with available SWAM. Then we have practical English. We also have Oxford University Press. So let's take the reference. This is the reference, so you can just go to the references. And then about the author of the novel, which is Kabi Alabi. Kabi Alabi, Gaba, is a Nigerian novelist best known for the Lekki Headmaster. His work explores contemporary Nigerian life, focusing on education, leadership, and migration. The novel follows Adebeku Adewale, a principal navigating personal and professional challenges in Lekki, Lagos. Gaba's storytelling, blends humor, struggle of educators and the Japa migration, and trend using relatable characters. He highlights, let's see where we are. He highlights societal pressures and resilience. His style is accessible yet rich personal life. Gaba's fair voice generates equally. So that is it about the author of the novel. So this is the end of the class. So let me just go back so that you can check this again on where we start from. Now, if you need the PDF copy, you can get the PDF copy. It's very very cheap. It's not costly. It's just 1,000 naira alone. If you need the printed copy is just 2,000 naira. It's much more available. It's much more available right now. So you can get it in order to to have a better understanding of what you are expected this year in the Jamb 2025 English language and that of the literature. So let's go to it again. So let's go to it again. Let's go to them. Let's go to them. Let's go to them. Let's go to them. So let's look at them again. Introduction, and that is the last thing. Okay, table of content, and then we have this. So I hope you learned from this. I hope this has actually taught you, and it has given you a simplified and comprehensive knowledge about the English language and that of the Lekki Headmaster for Jamb 2025. I tell you that practice these questions that are here. Read whatever that is here. I guarantee you with a 300 close to 350 Jamb score. So just keep on learning, reading all the resources, get majority resources, get resources that you can get, and then ensure you do what you practice the question. So don't forget, it is still this is what we have in this place. So it is still this video, simplified English language and the Lekki Headmaster Jamb 2025 100% expected questions and answer. And that, so if you are watching from YouTube, if you are watching by us on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are watching from Facebook, please share and follow my page. So I want to say congratulations for having this. So once again, as I've said it, ensure that you read and then you go with all these questions. Go with all these questions and ensure that you master them before the day they come. I'll see you in glowing colors by the time you are done with your examination.